Hey, Taylor Elwood here with Inner Alchemy Coaching and the Sacred Masculine podcast. And today I want to talk about the topic of what is success. Because as men, we have been conditioned to compete for success. We have been told that we have to be successful. But what does that actually mean? That's a question that I find myself asking a lot in relationship to the overall quality of my life. When I find myself looking at the fact that I have played the entrepreneurial game, that I've been in the rat race, and other things along those lines, and I ask myself, well, what does success really look like? I think that in general, people have been sold an image of success, whether it's the house with a white picket fence and 2.5 kids and a dog and two cars and a 401k, or the dream of becoming a billionaire, or or whether you feel like your success is working a six-figure job and working 80 hours a week and hardly having time for anyone, or being an entrepreneur and working all the time and hardly having any time for anything else. That is typically what we see as success. A lot of times, for men also, the notion of success that's added in is that we're always having lots of sex, that we're always hard and erect and ready to go, that we're always potent, and that we're turning people on. But I want to really question what success is, and I think it's important to, because as men we have to examine why we have been given that false bill of goods when it comes to this notion of success. A lot of the time, success does not look like those things. If anything, those are the trappings and the illusion of success that becomes a trap. And what ends up happening is we find ourselves working a lot of jobs that we don't like, trying hard to make enough money to somehow impress who knows who, trying to desperately hold on to the relationships that we're in. And in the end, we're unhappy and miserable. I've been there and done that. I've been that unhappy man who has not had a quality relationship with the partner I was with, has not had good relationships with other men, has not had a healthy relationship with myself, and have been a workaholic. I have worked so much and had so little to show for it, pursuing the quote unquote American dream. But that's not what success is. I mean, success has to be more than that. And I think that one of the things that men struggle with in particular is they associate their sense of identity with this notion of success, of being a provider and a protector. Well, if I make enough money, then I can provide for someone else. If I make enough money, then I can protect that person. If I make enough money, then I'm taking care of all the bills and I'm showing up in a good way. But what's happening along the way is that those same men are losing the relationships that they have, and they're losing the quality life that they have, and they're not feeling really connected or thrilled with what's happening as a result. Success is not necessarily what we think it is or what we've been sold. So the question still comes back to, what is success? One of the most important lessons that I've learned in the last few years is that success isn't working 80 hours a week or working my tail off. That success is actually doing something meaningful and purposeful with my life. It's engaging in activities that matter to me, that speak to my heart. It's taking time, and it's also taking time to take care of myself, to make time for the activities that bring me a sense of fulfillment and joy. Success in my particular case is going to be something that matters to me because it's something that actually speaks to who I am on a deep level, and it brings me a deep sense of satisfaction and happiness over what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. When we look at magical work in general, not magical work, masculine work in general, That is the primal work that we need to do. We need to disengage from the false narratives of success. We need to step away from the idea that success looks like a married man with a wife and two kids and working at a job he doesn't like, and going through the motions of life, but not actually living life. Success, instead, let's reorient it toward taking care of ourselves, doing meaningful and happy work for ourselves, choosing to love ourselves, choosing to take care of ourselves, choosing to embrace the opportunities that are available to us. Success can come in many forms, and with it comes an understanding and a responsibility that we choose the best life for ourselves, the life that we truly want to live, not someone else's life, not someone else's dream, not someone's idea as to what life should look like. For me, success, for example, is writing my latest book, or it's going to the kung fu studio and taking a kung fu lesson, or it's going to my men's circle, or it's hanging out with friends, or it's doing meaningful work with other men, helping them become their own best versions of themselves. That's what success looks like. Success for you might be something else altogether, and that's okay. The key thing is that you figure out what success means for you. A successful life doesn't have to be what someone else tells you. A successful life has to be something that you define for yourself. And the only way you can really figure that out is by taking the time to really look at your life and figure out where you're unhappy and start making some changes around that. If you're working at a job that you don't like, figure out a way to get out of that job. Quit the job, maybe find some other kind of work, maybe go back to school, maybe start your own business, but do something that speaks to who you are. If there's some kind of meaningful purpose in your life that's calling to you, then start acting on it. Go volunteer somewhere. Go write a book, create an art thing. Do activities that matter. And spend time with your friends. Spend time with the people that love you and care about you. The people who want to spend time with you. The people who genuinely want to be in relationship with you and aren't just using you and taking advantage of you. This is a really important thing. And it's perhaps one of the most important things that you can do for yourself, because at the end of the day, your life is defined not by how much money you make, how many houses you own, or things along those lines. It's defined by the meaning and purpose that you have applied to your life. It's defined by how you really feel about yourself and about how you show up in life, and then the actions that you take as a result. And those actions really speak louder than your feelings, because you can feel unhappy and upset and angry. I've certainly been there and done that, and not do anything about it. And at that point, you're just settling for a shitty life. So if you want to stop settling for a shitty life, you've got to be willing to take some steps. You've got to be willing to ask yourself, what does success look like? And then transform your relationship with success so that you can help yourself become a happier, more fulfilled person instead of settling for less and wishing that you had more.